This is the House of Hockey podcast on the Hockey Podcast Network. Hockey is more than a game, it's a lifestyle. It's you, the diehard supportive fans, your favorite players who are on the team you cheer for and the organization who supports them.
The companies that make your gear, bags, and beer league sweaters. The hockey moms and hockey dads and everything else that makes this House of Hockey your home. Come on in. I'm Breezy.
And I'm Rae Rae.
And this is our house.
Welcome to our house. This is the House of Hockey podcast. I'm your girl, Rae Rae.
And I'm Breezy.
And this is episode 14. Quarantine life is still kind of happening for different people. We're all in different phases all across the US. And if you're listening in other places around the world is shifting and moving. And this episode, you're really going to like the guest, Dan Milan. He is how do we say this? He's a pro hockey player who's retired now. Is that the official language of how you describe this?
I'm not sure. I guess it's something we probably should have asked. Well, he's an ex-pro hockey player. So whether he's retired or whatnot, he's an ex-pro hockey player. That's what his bio says, at least.
Yes, he played in the AHL, CHL, and ECHL. He's been featured on Hunks of Hockey because, well, he's a hunk.
Obvious reasons.
The very definition of a hunk. And
he's a great guy. He's super nice, super genuine, down to earth. He's got the confidence, but he's very, I feel kind of low key about his confidence. Would you say? Oh yeah, very self-aware, very a deep thinker, and I think he even says that in the interview. Talks about inspirational.
Yeah.
I took a lot away from talking to him. So
yeah, I think you'll really like the authentic personality that he has and the genuineness. I think you'll really be able to capture that from him during the interview and hear about some really funny stories that he shares about pranks and rookie parties, and then some of the serious side of the game and the mental aspect, and very all-encompassing. And he's Stylin and has a clothing line, and it just very Renaissance type of guy, right?
Right, yeah. And I really enjoyed hearing his take, because he was a defenseman and he was known for being like an instigator. And he touches on kind of his, how would you say, journey to getting to that point and the mental aspect of it, which I feel like a lot of people don't really get to see or hear about from people who are instigators. So different take than what I had imagined. I don't know about you, but
yeah, I didn't have any expectations going into the interview, but I was very surprised that he was so willing to share about the mental side of the game and what that's like to why he got into becoming an instigator and the effect that had on him, and maybe a little bit of how that affected him deciding to not play or to keep playing, and how that shifted his game. And he had some like moral values around his instigatorness, which I was very surprised about. And I think you'll enjoy hearing his own sort of chirping rules, if you will.
Yeah, that was funny. That was fun.
He's a joy, and I feel like we could have talked to him forever about deep life questions as well as hockey, but you'll all enjoy that. That's coming up in a little bit. But we have to talk about the exciting news. Hockey in July, we have a date of when potential hockey things are happening. NHL training camps for the Stanley Cup qualifiers will open July 10th if safety and medical conditions are met. The league and the Players Association are both on board with this. I'm on board with this. Are you on board with this?
I'm on board with it. It's going to be exciting to have hockey in July.
Yeah, a first. Has there ever been hockey in July ever? No.
I don't recall.
That's the one for sure month of the year there's legit no hockey, because some of the training camps start in August, right?
Yeah, right.
So is this the first? I'm just gonna say it's the first time ever we're having hockey in July.
I think so. I'm like trying to like go back in years and years of memory, and I don't think I've ever. I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
We're gonna go with that.
I
And
think so.
how strange was it? I don't know if you saw any on social media, but the Chicago Blackhawks, who are one of the teams that are Stanley Cup qualifiers, it's so hard to believe, but it's happening.
You like blush every time you say Chicago Blackhawks.
I know, I get really excited. And a couple of the guys they can do voluntary practice on and off ice practice right now. That's part of the phase 2, and it's controlled and blah, 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 and all the safety, etc. And they were walking into the practice facility with their quarantine masks on, carrying hockey bags and sticks, and it's just such a weird sight to see.
Weird.
It's something we never thought we would see this, and it's so interesting to see them walking in with these masks. And I don't know, I just never thought I would see Patrick Kane wearing a safety mask, carrying his like fresh sticks and gear into practice. And it's such a strange time. And
unless he was like dressing up as like a hospital worker, hockey player for Halloween or something. I don't.
Exactly. Yeah, we definitely would not see this. And I think it's just something unique that I noticed how odd that was to see. There's lots of players who are voluntarily heading into practice, which is exciting to see. And hopefully they all remain safe and healthy and we can have some hockey.
Yeah, they said the playoff season may start as early as August. So that's exciting.
That's very exciting.
We got to do a life update.
Yes.
How's your progress going?
Man, Breezy.
That sounded real reassuring.
Listen, I'm practicing. I'm doing drills. I'm taking an online course, and I am really struggling with the one-handed drills. I have very weak hands as far as muscular ability to do that. I need 2 hands. Yeah. And my hands hurt, like legit my hands hurt because of some of the drills, and I've got to build up that strength, but I'm still doing it. I'm working. I don't know if ice is open, and I'm going to be traveling here soon, and I think some of my hockey training is going to be paused for a little while, and I will pick it back up though. But yeah, it's going. I'm still doing it. I have my down moments where I get really defeated when I can't do those one-handed drills, but this takes time and takes practice, and I'm not giving up, and I fight through the frustration. What about you? What's happening in your world? Are you practicing on your ice or?
No, I mean, I take a couple shots here and there throughout the day, or if I get angry at an email or something, I'll take a shot. But no, I haven't really been doing much. My nephews have been coming over and playing on it because they've never set foot on ice before. So I just have it's a little slide board, so it's not like it's obviously real ice. That'd be sick if I had real ice in my house, but yeah. So they're coming over here and having fun with it. So that's good.
Yeah, I think if I can find a way to get some rollerblades, like some inline blades, for the next part to learn how to at least rollerblade without serious injury, I do need somebody to teach me though how to stop. That's the problem. I could get going, but I wouldn't know how to stop. And
Yeah.
that's something I'm going to investigate when I head out on my travels.
I think we just need to go to Arizona and go hang out with Lindsay a bit and have her teach us how to stop.
I'm good with that. Lindsay
I'm just
Fry, you
terrified.
ready for
Lindsay,
us?
yeah, let's go, Lindsay.
She'd
She did
have us.
invite us. She said, she's like, come on out, I'll teach you. Well, we're coming.
We're coming, girl. Get
We're
ready.
coming. Well, I don't really want to go now because if it's hot, this hot here,
I know.
I don't know how hot it is in Phoenix right now. Or nah, I'm good.
No, and I'm not getting up before the sun comes up just to learn to skate. That's not happening, people. That it'd have to be after hours.
Oh,
Not a
that's
morning
funny.
person. Not a morning person. That's why I
I
never
know.
picked up surfing, because
Ah,
living in SoCal, I took a lesson. I really enjoy the water. I'm not, surfing would be great, except
yeah.
best time of day to do that here is
hmm
at sunrise, and I'm not getting up at sunrise to go
No.
surf. I don't love
Nope.
it enough. I
Nope.
just don't
You're
love
gonna
it
get
enough.
you're gonna hit some mush burgers towards noon. So
I don't even know what you just said. What?
some mush. It's so funny. When I worked at one
What's
of my
a
old
mush burger?
companies,
What are you saying? Mush burger?
a mush burger is like a really terrible wave. It's like it looks like a wave and then it's nothing. So I used to, when I worked at one of the companies I used to work for, when I was in the marketing department, we even higher up management, they were all surfers. So I'd be, showing up to work and they'd be rolling in around like 10, 10:30, 11 o'clock. I'm like, guys, like I've been here since 7. Where have you been? I'm like, oh, we were surfing some waves. Yeah. So I learned all of like the surf talk because we'd watch WSL on TV or on the whatever on our computers. We were in a fantasy league, surf league. I even joined in on it. It was really fun. There's some great surfers. So, yeah,
Interesting. Have you ever surfed?
absolutely not. I'm terrified of the ocean.
That's right. I thought you were terrified of the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Like the
Crustaceans.
sharks and stuff and the crustaceans. Yeah.
Crustaceans. I really don't like. I mean, I'm fascinated with sharks. I love sharks. I want to go deep sea cage diving with great whites, as long as I'm in a cage. But I'm just not a fan. Just not
Yeah.
a fan of the. It's so unknown. So I'm gonna get bit by a crab, and that just doesn't sound fun.
I think you have a higher chance of getting stung by a jellyfish here than getting bit
That's
by a
fine.
crab. I don't think I've ever seen a crab or any crustacean anytime I've been to the beach here in
Have you
LA.
seen how big lobsters can get? Those suckers are huge and they have big claws. You're telling me that they can't chomp down on your foot or I don't know, sever your Achilles tendon and then I'm out?
Yes, that can happen. However,
It's highly unlikely.
I think I think they stay in deeper water where it's colder, not on shore, but I could be mistaken. I
Yeah.
really don't think you're gonna get bitten by any kind of crustacean.
I like how you're being so nice and like, you're gonna be okay when really you're like, you're an idiot. You're not gonna get bit.
I'm trying to encourage you kindly to
Yeah.
investigate going into the water.
Yeah.
It's like
Uh,
those fears are not applicable to standing in the water waist high in LA, which I mean, you have a better chance of getting some sort of weird infection of bacteria than you do getting
absolutely.
bitten by a crustacean in the water here in the Bay. So,
Oh man.
take a shower
Uh,
after, don't drink the water, those kinds of things. Those
yeah.
are more concerning than crustaceans and sharks,
Yeah.
you know,
But I don't know,
just
man. There's some big sharks that are around here. And they're like seen right off the shore.
try not to think about it, and you use the buddy system. Like, I'll go in the water with you. I won't be mean and be like, shark, how those asshole friends of yours would do that, and I have friends
Yeah.
who would do that. They're like, what was that? I'm like, and I jump and I'm like, fuck
Yeah.
you, don't do that to me. But I wouldn't
Yeah.
do that to you because I know you're very afraid, and that would
Oh,
not
thank you.
help encourage you to proceed in the water. I
No.
have I have done cage shark diving with great
Have
whites.
you?
I did
Where?
it. I did it in South Africa, off the coast of like in Cape Town.
Yeah.
Uh, it was really cool. It was really
See?
cool. And they just throw a cage over the side of the boat, and they just give you goggles, no breathing tube, and they just say like, jump in, who wants to go first? And I was like, I do.
Yeah, I think I would want to do the same area because that's where great white sharks are like really known for. But I also think it'd be really cool to do it in Australia, just close. Did you touch one?
No, that was not advised.
Well,
That was not
obvious
advised.
reasons.
Yeah, no, that was not advised. I have not touched a shark.
Oh,
No.
I touched one at a zoo. It was like a sand shark.
Not nearly as terrifying as the crustaceans are to you.
Nope. Sorry, not doing it.
Anyway, this is the part of the podcast where we let you, yes, you, hockey fans, take the mic and tell your story of interacting with an NHL player, past or present.
This is Chris at All Tyler's Fault. You guys know me. Have a story for you about how I met Antoine Roussel of, at the time, the Dallas Stars. He's Canuck now, but he was with the Dallas Stars a couple years ago. So I went after practice, morning skate, and I was trying to meet Tyler Seguin, because of course Tyler Seguin. And I missed him, but I did come across Antoine Roussel. He was being, I guess, followed by a guy who was trying to get his autograph on a big 8x10 photograph of him, and I came up to them, and Roussel was asking the guy, okay, what's your name? And, to sign it on the picture. And the guy was like, oh, no, you don't need to put my name on it, just sign it. And Roussel said, no, your name. And, he's got like that thick French accent, so I don't know whether the guy thought there was a misunderstanding or what, but the guy kept saying, no, you don't need to sign my name on it, please just put your autograph, sign your name. And, it's probably one of these dealer guys that wanted to just stick it up on eBay as soon as he could. So Roussel repeated, no, what is your name? I'm put your name on it. So they went back and forth like this a little bit, and finally the guy said, can't you just sign it? And Roussel pushed the photograph back at him and said no. And that was it. And the guy kind of moved back okay, I guess that's it. And I went up to him and I said, hey, Ruth, can you sign my hat? And I had a Dallas Stars hat, and I was wearing my Dallas Stars jersey and everything, and he looked at me, he took my hat, and he yelled. He goes, yes, I will sign your hat. And he looked around to anybody who was there, including the guy with the photograph, and he had this big grin on his face I'm signing this. And he put his gigantic John Hancock all over the front brim of the hat and gave it back to me, and I thanked him. And, he said, what's your name? And then I told him my name, and he said, oh, it's very nice to meet you. And we shook hands, and yeah, he's been a favorite ever since. So I catch him almost every time they come by Southern California, and he remembers me, and it's awesome. But the funny thing is meeting over a hat with a dealer standing there. So that's my story.
Thanks for sharing your story on the House of Hockey podcast. We'd love to hear your story if you have one of interacting with an NHL player, past or present. Just call our phone number 323-438-2648. Tell us your name, tell us the NHL player's name and the team they play for, and then tell your story in 5 minutes or less. And you just might hear it on an upcoming episode of the podcast.
Today we have a Michigan native who's played in the AHL, CHL, and ECHL. He's a blue line brawler. Dan Stylin Milan, let's go. What's going on?
Hey, I'm doing all right, Breezy. Just hanging out, just Michigan, baby. I'm doing well. Been fortunate to, still be working and, doing all that sort of stuff. So I doing all right. What about you guys?
I'm good.
Okay.
We're safe. We're safe so far.
Yeah, good. Family's safe too, though. Family is safe as well. Okay.
Yeah. Family's good. It's just a weird time right now, but yeah, one thing after another, and we're still kicking on both things, I guess. So it's all good here.
Yeah. I mean, this is our place of entertainment and happiness, and the podcast.
Sanity.
Yeah,
gotta have an outlet. You gotta have an outlet. Mine's obviously, closed and working on that sort of stuff. So gotta have, yeah. But
yeah.
yeah,
So
happy to be here though. I'll tell you that much.
welcome to our house, and we're gonna talk a little hockey and bring some lightness to the world with this podcast, and do what we can in that respect with everything that's going on in the world. So let's talk some hockey and some lightness. So tell us about hockey in Michigan and how you got started, and are you still playing? What are you doing? Give us a little bit of background on your history with hockey.
I can go into I'll try and do it a little bit in a nutshell. Okay, I was always a kid. I mean, I started playing when I was 7. Did I become passionate about hockey right away? Really, I think it takes a little bit of time to become passionate about something. But the better I got, obviously, the passionate I became. And I was a kid. I played the AAA growing up until I got into high school, which AAA, for anybody that doesn't really know hockey, is the highest level that you can play when you're younger. And then I moved on to high school, okay? However, side note, when I played AAA, I didn't play, I was a late bloomer, absolutely. And when I got into high school, kind of the same thing. I didn't really start out, I was on varsity my sophomore year, but I didn't play. I never really played. And but I was so tired of being, I guess, on the bottom end. I always felt like I was on the short end of the stick, kind of, and developed a little bit of a chip on my shoulder. And I got better, got good enough to where I was being looked at by colleges. I was fortunate enough to move on. I ended up playing out in Quebec. Went to Quebec for 2 years. I signed with Tampa Bay, and I mean, that's kind of it in a nutshell. Obviously, there was a lot of stuff that came into my development and the way I view things now. And then I played, 7 years professionally afterwards, and a lot of great memories, got a lot of great stories. Yeah. So I mean, I was blessed beyond. I was blessed. So yeah.
For sure. So are you still playing now?
Not right now. Well, obviously the rinks are shut down, so I can't even join. I was gonna join, men's league out here. Never thought I'd say it, but I got about 32 sticks, brand new, stocked up from my playing days, and I got about 4 brand new pairs of skates ready to get broken in. So if there was something, just a little side goal of mine, it was like, man, if I retire from playing, I want to have enough gear to where I'm set for the rest of my life. So,
sounds like you do.
Yeah, I'm good.
So were you ever called up to the big league at all? And if you were, for what team, and who'd you play for? Or who'd you play against, I guess?
I never got called up. I never got called up to the big leagues. To be honest with you, again, when I came into professional hockey, I sound like I'm making excuses. I'm absolutely not. But I came in, I was 20. I came in for the lockout year, which everybody got moved down, right? And I got hurt right off the bat. So I got off to a terrible start. I had to work my way in, but it was weird because, I was on my deal for 3 years. I progressively got better and better. But as I got better, it was like my opportunity got less and less, and, making way for basically the new draftees, the new young guys, which, a lot of people kind of forget. There's a lot of, unbelievable hockey players that I played with that were in the minors that never got a shot, even at the American League. And so, yeah, never made it to the big leagues, but it's okay. It's all right. I learned a lot throughout my career. So
So who are some of the guys you played with that are, that maybe are in the NHL, or somebody that you really remember playing with in the other systems?
I grew up. I played with Vladdy quite a bit. Vlad Nemesnikov. Okay, he's played in a few different places. I mean, I've been on the ice with a lot of those guys. I played with growing up. Brian Rust, Austin Watson. Played against. I mean, anybody in the '92 age group. There's a good chance that I played with or against them. North Americans, I should say. I know Nemesnikov's not, but he lives in Detroit. Yeah, so you kind of grow up, and once I got my NHL deal, I would do the pro skates and stuff like that in the summertime, and yeah, I mean I played with a lot of different guys. The best, I guess the best that I've been on the ice with, in my opinion, would be Henrik Zetterberg, and I've been on the ice with Stamkos, St. Louis. Never got on the ice with Lindstrom. A lot of those Tampa guys, Callahan. But by far, I would say Zetterberg was one of the coolest that I was on the ice with. And he played for Detroit. I'm from Detroit, so that made it cool. But he was making plays out there that was just, something special. But he was also a really nice guy. Yeah. And I love nice guys. A lot of egos in the NHL, and I don't always deal well with them. So,
how do you deal with those egos? You just Chuck Nucks or what?
Yeah, Chuck Nucks, not break ankles, but try to give them chops on the back of the leg. And you know what? Part of my role when I was playing was that, which is funny because I wasn't like that before professional. I wasn't. I had to add that extra element, I guess, and I got some confidence in my meanness and my strength to where I felt comfortable doing that. Yeah, a lot of times if I didn't like guys, man, even in summer skates, I would I have a switch that can be flipped pretty easily when it comes to like male egos, and I know it sounds a little crazy, but I know I don't think anybody really likes a cocky, not friendly person, in general. So,
only somebody who's only that person who is cocky likes themselves. So
you got to believe in yourself, though, right? You got to believe in yourself. You got to have confidence. You look at fighters. You look at Floyd Mayweather, guys that all they do is talk shit and just freaking. They make themselves believe that they're that good and that sort of thing. But when it comes to just talking to people, like I hate when people are too good to talk to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Or just that stuff bothers me. And you just see it all the time. Or like when I used to, because I played a little bit of a scrappy role and I would talk shit all the time. But I never wanted to go personal. I never went to their families. I never said that stuff. I talked about just stuff that would agitate them. But, some people don't have any respect. They'll go after your girlfriend. They'll just do weird stuff, man. And it's, I didn't like it. I saw it a lot. So luckily it didn't happen to me too often, but.
Tell us a little bit more about your role as that. Would you describe yourself as an agitator or a fighter, or how would you describe that role? And then, like you said, you added that to your game to help you stand out a little bit more. So, how did that come about? How did you make that choice?
So I describe myself 100% as a two-way defenseman. When I was professional, I was utilized more as defensive defenseman, but I could still move the puck. I didn't play power play. I wasn't a power play guy. But I wanted to, again, if somebody out there was the same skill level, did the same stuff as me, but he didn't have that extra, piss the guys off, get under their skin, make them not want to play against you, or, not afraid to defend your own teammates, that sort of thing. I wanted to add that to give myself that extra boost. And I always got contracts. I never had to worry about that. But towards the end, I had built up that expectation, and I didn't like it anymore. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to fight. I didn't I would fight if somebody took liberties on my teammate, And I would play hard, but I wasn't out there like I was my first 4 years professional. I wanted to, I offered more, and I didn't like the expectation of always having to do something about it. If something happened in the game, I had to do something about it, and that shit pissed me off. I don't want to do that. Like, it's not, I don't know. At the end of the day, I'm really a lover, not a fighter. You know what I'm saying? I really am.
Yeah.
So.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think that's a really honest perspective to offer that I don't know that I've heard. I mean, I haven't listened to every single interview with every hockey player who's been a fighter on the ice, but I don't think I've ever heard that honest of a perspective where you're like, I just didn't want to have to be the one responsible all the time for every single thing that happens on the ice.
And the thing, yeah, exactly. But the thing was that kind of drove me to it. It wasn't the fact that of like, I'd take somebody out, but I had to worry about somebody coming back at me. And I had that reputation around the league. Everybody knew, I sound arrogant when I say this, but everybody knew Stylin Milan. I got shit from every single team I play against. Stop, take another selfie, take another, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, that's shit, whatever, okay. But, if I chopped a guy or something like that, if I'm going back for the puck as a defenseman, one of the scariest things you can do, one of the hardest things about being a defenseman is going back and getting a puck when the other team dumps it in. Because the other team's coming at you full speed, you got to be able to make a quick play out of there. And guys didn't care, they saw Milan, they saw my number. I did something to him earlier, and again, I didn't like getting personal when I chirped, and when I would slash guys, I didn't look to break bones. I didn't look to put people out and put them on the injured list. I did it it hurt them, but it wasn't going to take them out of the game. But, they don't look at it like that. They see my numbers. They want to take me out and hit me from behind or what have you. And it was just my physical, how many hits I took to the head and all that sort of stuff. That was a big reason too. Big reason why I stopped playing was because of I didn't want to deal with the physical side of it. My body was taking a beating.
Yeah. Would you say that the AHL or lower leagues, do you think they fight more or hit harder than the big league just because of what's on the line?
I could see the AHL. AHL has more fights for sure than the NHL. ECHL, I'd like to say, is right there because people are trying to get called up. People want to get called up. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the fights you see in the NHL, you got your guys that are absolute nails. I mean, you can't be in the NHL and be soft, really. It's hard. Even the soft guys are pretty tough. But, a lot of times you see those fights are guys that are trying to make a statement or prove themselves and that sort of stuff. So you see that a lot more in the AHL, ECHL, because people want to move up.
How would you describe what that mental health was like for you when you played? Like, what was your mental health like? And this isn't a popular topic, but being an agitator and wrestling with this fact and, having to do that day in and night out, how was that for you?
It was, I mean, at the beginning, it's kind of nerve-wracking because I didn't, again, I hadn't been used to doing this. I never had to do this before. I worked hard. I was strong. I was a good skater, but I never had to look to really mix it up. And so breaking into it and finding that confidence in your meanness, I guess, is how I would put it. And knowing you can take control of another dude or something like that, it sounds weird to say, but, that part was tough, but mental health, I didn't really do anything. I was just growing from there. But, once I got that confidence, it was great. I mean, I felt like I was the man. I wanted to do that shit all the time. I wanted to freaking scrap guys and stuff like that. But after you do so much of it, and it's really not in my natural nature, like I didn't, again, towards the end, it did. It took a toll on me mentally. I didn't want to deal with it. I still did. But, just from a lot of people don't really understand, you grow up and you think hockey, you don't do it for the money. You don't do it for this. What am I trying to say here? Well, once you get into it, man, you do it for the love of the game, right? But that's what keeps you going because the business side of it sucks. They can trade you at any moment. They really can, and they don't care to do so. They really don't. It's what would bother me is like, coaches would come at you and be like, they put pressure on guys to do stuff for the team and, be a team guy and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, they could gas you right away, even if you were that team guy. And I've seen it happen so many times where it's like, oh, really? Like that stuff, the business side of it sucked. The physical side of it takes a toll.
So the love of playing is what drove you ultimately. It was like the underlying driving force.
The love of the game is what, that's why you play. You play it because and your buddies. The lifestyle is very cool as well. I mean, you dream of it. You wake up, you go to practice. It's basically a 1 hour work. It's basically a 1.5 hour work day, because the rest of the time you're at the rink, you're just bullshitting with people, your teammates, joking around, listening to music. Like my case, I'd be dancing a little bit, and it's funny. But the thing is, there's a lot of pressure from the aspect that you got to play well, or if you're not playing well, even if you are playing well, you could still get traded tomorrow and move halfway across the country. You have that weird pressure. It's very different from, I sell mortgages now. Very different from that. It's so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you touched a little bit on kind of like your off day of a practice day. So describe like a game day for you, how it was. Pre-game meals, anything like that.
Game days, I didn't have any superstitions. I was very much. I had more superstitions when I was younger, but the younger you are, the more of a head case you are, I guess, if that makes sense. Not like a psycho, but like you're just like, oh, if I don't do this, I might not have a good game. You believe in all that stuff. As you play enough games, you're just kind of like, yeah, it's another game, and you kind of go into it like that. That's it's another game. Not like you're taking it lightly, but you're in that groove of things. You're confident. You feel good. So my game day was basically get a feel for the puck and morning skate, have fun with the guys, go home, get a pregame meal. I'd get my pregame nap in, but if I didn't fall asleep at this time, I wasn't worried about it. If I didn't fall asleep at all, I really wasn't worried about it. I used to, I mean, a lot of coaches would say they'd get pissed at you if you'd yawn and stuff. And this is kind of random, but shit, I would yawn all the time before games, and I wasn't tired. I was well rested. Yeah, it was well rested, well fueled up. I don't know if it was just my body's way of like staying relaxed. I don't really know, but shit, I used to yawn all the time. I'd go out and have a good game, and it was like, I don't know, coaches. Yeah, so I don't know.
Hopefully, they didn't hold that against you.
Right. Once I got to the rink during game day, I never let them know that I was yawning. Sorry, going back to the yawning thing, right? If coach is looking at me and I started yawning, I'd act like I was like adjusting my jaw, like I was cracking my jaw, like you know what I'm saying? But once I got to the rink, I ran the music and stuff, and I just kind of vibe out and just go and play.
All right, what kind of music? What are the jams? What kind of DJ are you?
Definitely like for my own personal liking, when it comes to game day, I'm more of the I just keep everything like rap, upbeat, EDM, that sort of thing. I try to, you see a lot of DJs, or you come to a team and, there's already kind of a DJ, but, you're tired of hearing the same old song. So like, I always try to like up my game every week. I'm always into New Music Friday. I'm always trying to bring in new songs, and kind of like, I'd play a new song. I'd like, I love it. So I'd like look for other people's reaction while I'm like taping my socks and stuff like that. And, yeah, it was always satisfying when somebody'd be like vibing with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So your brother also plays. He's playing for the Cincinnati Cyclones right now. Did you ever play with him? And is there like a sibling rivalry, or you guys more have like a bond by going through the journey somewhat together?
There's almost a little bit of a rivalry naturally, brother to brother, but amongst us, when it comes to the rest of the world, like it's me and him. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're boys. Yeah, we're boys even when we're competing against each other. It was great for both of us. He was a forward. I was a defenseman. I got to work on my defensive abilities while he's stick handling on me in the driveway. So that, I mean, no doubt about it. his and my development were based on a lot of the stuff that we did at the house, amongst us. So wish I got to play with him. I never did, only in my summer league and stuff. But when I graduated high school, he was gonna be a freshman, and I had a chance to play with him this year, but I was so done with things that I didn't want. I just didn't want the deal, and then I didn't want it to we play together. This is sweet, but again, you get traded, like that, and it'd always be. I know it would cause a little bit of something if one of us got traded and we were originally on the same team. So.
Yeah. Well,
do you have
that's
any?
Understandable.
Go ahead, Breeze.
No, I was just saying that's understandable.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the status of where he's at now? Which is that ECHL, the team in Cincinnati that he's with?
ECHL. He's breaking his way into pro.
What's his name? We didn't say it. What's his name? His first name?
Cody Milan. Cody Milan.
All right.
Yeah.
Got to shout him out. Come on.
Oh, you're right. 4 years, Michigan State. Got most outstanding senior when he was a senior. He's breaking his way in a little bit differently than me. I started out with a deal. He's fresh. He's good. Explain. He's fresh into it, and he's only building. He's getting better and better, and with more experience, more games played. I really hope. And I know he will deserve it to get the opportunity when he does. So, yeah.
Good. Well, hey, Cody, right?
Cody, yeah.
Cody, you got two fans right here. So when the league starts back up again.
That's what I'm saying, for real.
And plus you, of course, Dan. So
right, obviously.
But, just in case somebody took it the wrong way. Tell us a little bit. You said you had a lot of good stories about your time when you did play. So give us a good story or a memorable moment or, anything that you feel comfortable sharing about your time with the boys.
I mean, I could give my memorable moments, when it comes to winning or that sort of stuff. But I know we want to get I want to say something that maybe somebody doesn't really, talk about. So
yeah,
got some good times, some good memories. I mean, I don't know if I can even some of the stuff's a little explicit, maybe not for all
right.
viewers, but a lot of rookie parties. Tell you right now, rookie parties are
yes.
Are pretty,
tell us about the rookie parties.
God, my rookie party was I was in Fort Myers. Okay, I was playing for the Florida Everblades, and we had to wear a Speedo. Okay, all rookies had to wear a Speedo, but we went during spring break time, and I'm from Michigan, and so we're partying on Fort Myers Beach, and you see a bunch of Michigan State flags. I saw people that I knew from home, or people my buddy sent me a picture of, some girl had sent him a picture of me at the bar with my Speedo on, looking back. Never realized the picture was taken, and he sends me this, and it was just funny. So, but yeah, had to wear Speedo, and then we had a checklist of stuff we had to do. Again, I don't know how crazy we want to go here, but
don't get anybody in trouble, all right?
No, I'm not. No, not name dropping, and it's just part. I mean, anybody that's been a part of a team, y'all have your rookie duties and stuff like that. So it was just funny stuff. One of the things was had to do a lap around Hooters, run a lap, and there was a big gathering out there. Did a lap around Hooters. Guys we took a party bus down to all the boys in their Speedos, and then the vets obviously didn't have to wear one, but we had guys on our team that at a red light would jump out of the party bus and start dancing on cars, grinding on cars. I mean, guys were pretty bombed. There were guys were pretty bombed at this point. Yeah. So had some funny stuff happen. There was a guy on our team got a little bit too buckled. Ended up actually we were on the beach and he got kicked out immediately. But he rocked the guy. No idea why. Suckered him. and the guy dropped. He was good. He wasn't knocked out or nothing like that, but he was like, obviously, guy got punched in the face. Like, you're not gonna like handle that. I don't care who you are.
What about pranks? Or were there any like pranksters? I know pranks are kind of notorious in the player world.
Yeah, I actually got into a prank war with my coach one time, which is
A
interesting.
coach?
Yeah.
Sorry, I just really yelled really loudly. I was very
Yeah,
shocked.
you had a Canadian accent there. A coach?
Coach?
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, I was hurt, and we were playing. We were on the road or whatever, and it was weird. Like, me and the coach had this type of relationship, and so I can't remember how he got me first. The first thing he did to me or something. He did something to me. Okay, so I retaliated. I took it next level. Like, I unscrewed his little. We were in a hotel, and I unscrewed the little thing that you look outside of your door with, and I took I made a funnel out of paper, and I put a bunch of baby powder in it. And so, like, I put the funnel up to the door, and I like knocked on it, and he's like coming up to the door, and I just went and shot all the baby powder on him.
That's good.
And then he did something else to me too, and we were still on this road trip, and this is where like maybe I took it a little bit too far, but I had gotten the key to his hotel room, and so while he was taking his pregame nap, and you know what, it's the assistant coach, it wasn't the head coach, it's the assistant coach. Let me just be clear on that one. But got the key to his room, snuck in his room while he was taking a pregame nap, and I had a bucket of water.
Oh my God.
And
oh God, this is gonna be good.
well, it didn't turn out good because I got like halfway to his bed. Somehow he heard me. He's like, "Get the fuck out of my room! Get the fuck out of my room!" And I was like, hee, like running out. And I was like hurt. I was hurt, so I didn't have to worry about any whatever. Again, we had that kind of relationship, but he got back at me. That the last thing he did was, and this we still had I think like 6 more days on this road trip, and I was just in the locker room talking to the trainer, and he walked up and he took, it was, God, what is it called? Man, it's this greasy stuff you put on, like, it's like an ointment. I can't remember what it's called, but he took a glop of it and he slammed it on my head, and this stuff got stuck in my hair. Like you could wash it out with as much shampoo as you want. It wouldn't move. It almost got worse. It was
like
stuck.
Aquaphor or something, right? Like a Neosporin kind of thing. Yeah.
Exactly what it was exactly what it was. It wasn't Neosporin. No, it was something else. Anyways, I had to wait till I had the greasiest hair, and I'm showing up to the games in my suit, and I just got this greasy hair. And once we got back to Florida, because this is my rookie year too. We drove from Reading, Pennsylvania, down to Florida, and so once I got home, I had to buy dishwasher soap. Well, I had dishwasher soap. I didn't have to buy it, and that was the only way that I got it out.
Oh my God, like Dawn, like that should be a Dawn commercial besides the like poor little baby ducks with the grease. It's like show hockey players.
Right. Maybe like a YouTube Dawn commercial. You can't put it on like a national television. I mean, maybe you can. I don't know.
Exactly. Oh my God, that sounds like a lot of fun, even though, you're in like a constant state of fear of how they're going to retaliate you. Or do you just say like, fuck it, I'm not going to worry about it, just live your life, and then whatever happens, you just...
Depends on what you do. Depends on what they do to you.
Yeah.
I mean, I was always the guy, I never wanted to take it too far. I did. In that battle, I did. But there's a lot of pranks.
What do you miss most? Do you miss playing or the guys? I mean, obviously we're in a different state with the quarantine and everything, and you said that you would be playing more now currently with your whatever years of gear you've got just stacked up in your house.
Exactly. Just bring
like, what do you miss from the game, and like how are you adjusting to life without hockey? Temporarily, at least, and on that pro level.
Yeah, I mean, the pro level is. I'm always going to be into coaching. I'm actually coaching a AAA team here this fall.
Nice.
But yeah, as far as what I miss, guys definitely. Like the guys definitely. I mean, I would say that's number one. And then playing for the love of it, that part of it, that's I miss that as well. But that doesn't really go away just on the level that I played. But honestly, one of the most fun games I had played in the last 8 years was the first game playing beer league with my buddy who brought me in on his team for a game. It was so much fun because it was pure, wasn't tainted in any way. So it was nice. Yeah. Yeah. What was your second question though? You asked me something else.
I don't know.
Oh, adjusting to life after
Adjusting.
hockey.
Yes. Adjusting to life.
Yeah. I made myself way more nervous than it really ain't that bad. A lot of guys freak out about it because you want to do something you're passionate about. And again, hockey was my passion. But going back to one of the first things I said was, it takes time to kind of build a passion. Hockey is a passion, always will be. Making clothes is always a passion, always will be. Fashion, all that stuff. But I wanted to make some money right off the get go, and I kind of just threw myself into the mortgage thing. I was looking around for jobs, and it wasn't a lot of people want professional athletes, and I had my degree and that sort of stuff. So that helped me as well. But, I wanted to do something I was passionate about, and, I'm still finding that. Is mortgages going to be my passion? We'll find out. I like it. I'm learning a lot, but, it's a lot of guys I think feel stuck like I did. And it put a lot of stress on me, especially the last year, because I knew I didn't want to play the next year. So it put a lot of stress on me on figuring out what I wanted to do.
Yeah. Well, talk about your clothing. I know you said it's a passion of yours. I know you have always said that you speak your mind through fabric, right? Is that your quote unquote, how you say it?
My mantra? I don't know.
Is that your brand? Is that your brand tagline for your new brand?
I try to, there's a lot of different phrases or something. Yeah. Like speak my mind through fabric, like that stuff. My brand is Ageless Milan. That's my brand name, I guess. Whether that's what sticks forever, I don't really know. But, I have things that I add on pretty consistently that kind of follow me throughout any piece that I create. But I was always into fashion growing up. But clothing's expensive, and new clothing is expensive. And, when the Abercrombie jeans were $100, I wanted my grandma, I'd have my grandma buy me Target jeans that had the boot cut, the same cut and everything. But, I would just take sandpaper and save. I still thought about I don't want my family paying for this stuff. So I'd get the cheaper jeans and I'd just make it myself. And, but I kind of lost touch with that. I was still into fashion. That was middle school that I was doing that. And I would show up to school smelling like bleach and shit. And people would be like, what the hell? Or my jeans would be next level Abercrombie jeans. I'd bleach the hell out of them. And I wouldn't wash it out. So I'd smell like it. And then
God, those were so popular. I remember. Yeah. I had a pair of Abercrombie jeans that I had to beg for. I wasn't nearly as crafty, and I still have a pair of shorts from Abercrombie. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but they give me some sense of nostalgia.
I wear Abercrombie jeans. I wear Abercrombie jeans to this day, but you'll never know it because I, changed them up completely, and I learned how to taper, and I made them less of a boot cut, more skinny and stuff like that. So, but I
what
was
inspired you to do that though?
I always wanted to dress cool. I was big into fashion, but I was tired of buying right. The cool stuff, the unique stuff was expensive, I'd go to Salvation Army and that sort of thing and try to find cool vintage stuff, which I still do. But, I was just like, I'm going to teach myself how to sew. I got a lot to say. I've always kind of had a little bit of a chip on my shoulder in some aspect, of proving myself or just expressing my message and stuff like that. So I always had that stuff. and I just, decided to start writing it on clothes and stuff. And it's funny because then 2 years later, then you see writing on clothes, phrases on clothes, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not, like, yeah, maybe I sound arrogant.
No,
Maybe I sound arrogant, but
no,
know.
you're
Start
a
of the trend.
creator.
Right.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Yeah. Try to. So try to continue to do that. So, but
Like men's, women's, like what kind of clothes? Like tell people who haven't maybe seen your stuff before, like a little bit more about
I create a little bit of everything. I definitely go for a little bit of an apocalyptic / vintage look, I'm
like
real
Burning Man.
Yeah. What's that? Yeah, like Burning Man, exactly.
Like Burning Man, kind of.
And literally, I will burn my clothes. I actually, you know what? Funny you say that. I got a fucking blowtorch right here. And,
awesome.
So I mean, I'm wearing a shirt right now, and I wore this. Oh, you can't even. I don't know if you can see it, but I wore this. Like, I found this. It's a crocodile.
Whoa. That's cool.
I just did it for this interview, yo. I just did it for this. But I got this when I was like 8 years old from like Disney World, and I found it and never seen anybody with it, so I'm gonna rock it. But like, I got a shirt on right now. It's got, I burned it up a little bit. It's an Eddie Bauer shirt, I believe, and I put some, it was originally all black. I do that stuff. I do different stuff with shoes. I like leather jackets. I put studs and I put chains and I put my messages on leather jackets and stuff. But I really, I like making guy stuff, but I think it's easier to make girl stuff because I like girls, so I know what like I would like for someone to wear. So I just, I make. It's easy, right? I know what's gonna look good, or at least for my eyes. So, yeah.
Yeah.
You're like Michelangelo who plays hockey.
Right. Yeah. Just Stylin Milan. That's it. Yeah.
Exactly. So, what are some of the phrases and messages you believe in right now that you're putting out on your clothing?
God, I don't know, because there's kind of a lot, and they kind of come to me sporadically. A lot of it is a lot of the messages. I don't really know if I have any in particular that I can think of right now, but a lot of them dissect into just people and the way that people are. I'm a pretty deep thinker. I like to think from all perspectives, and I feel like a lot of people don't do that. So I try to put stuff out there that maybe people don't really think about, that, maybe the way that we are as a society. Excuse me, Jesus. The way we are as a society, or the way people are towards one another, or all kind of revolving around that stuff. But I always try to preach good messages, at least honest messages. I never try to preach anything bad, real bad. Yeah, nothing
you
bad.
You filtered your chirps on the ice, so I think that says a lot about you.
I would say
as a person.
I would do weird stuff on the ice, man. Like one time, like this one guy was like, just calling me names, shit. I repeated everything he said, right back to him. And again, so I'm gonna get a little explicit here, but he's, hey, you're a pussy. Like, you're a pussy. It's like, shut the fuck up. You shut the fuck up. Like, I would just I would repeat everything he would say. It's like, you're a loser. You're a loser. Like, I would just do weird stuff to try and, throw people off and just get them thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I actually played with another guy that was kind of like that. He would do the weirdest stuff, though, man. Like, he would say some crazy stuff. There was, and I would never say this. Okay, so.
Okay.
There's a really religious guy on the other team, right? Really religious, and he has a penalty shot. And this guy stands up on the bench and he's yelling to the guy, "God's not real. God's not real."
Oh my God.
Oh, he's going in on a penalty shot and he missed. But whether that was the reason or not, I don't really know. But just
wow.
he would do stuff like he was on the ice and he was skating around. He's like, I have AIDS. Like, this is on a professional level, yo. Like
What?
a lot of people, like, you know, I don't know if guys wouldn't say that, you know, knowing that they were mic'd up or something, but
Right.
yeah, this guy obviously did not care, and he didn't care. He didn't care about anything. This guy was crazy. One time I was, because I was always one of the last guys to walk out, like to go into each period of the locker room. And so I'm like putting on my shoulder pads, ready to go out for like the third period. And I look over to my left, and this guy is pissing in the trash can in the middle of the locker room.
Why?
Don't ask me. I don't know why he did it, but I feel like he always had to prove a point of like, I might let the flow down here for a second.
Let it loose.
Yeah, got to. It's getting a little strained up there. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah. So he no, that's not good either. I'm looking at myself in the camera. So yeah, just, you know, I played with guys like that, and you just see you just see everything, man. You see so much stuff.
Yeah.
You see, you know, fans that are just absolutely. I had a fan one time. I gave his kid a stick after the game. It was a broken stick, and because he had asked for it or whatever. Hey, can you get my kid a stick? Okay, so I got him a broken stick. He said, oh, thanks, man. I'll repay you. Comes back next game. He like pulls me to the side, and he's got this thing in his hand, and he's like, dude, take this, man. It's like 10 times stronger than morphine. I'm like, what? I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, I mean, I didn't look at him like that, but I was kind of like laughing it off, but kind of like, holy shit, this guy did not just ask me to have, you know.
Right.
Obviously I didn't take it because I didn't want to have paralysis the rest of my life and just be that kind of guy, you know. So,
Right.
but you know, I saw that stuff. Saw a lot of, you know, I swear to God, there was this one chick that she would say like, oh yeah, I saw you at your apartments. I saw you and so and so outside. I'm like, really? How the hell did you know that where we lived? Because we were like kind of backed up into like woodsy area, our apartment complex, and it was like. You had a lot of creepy stuff, and sometimes fans.
Yeah.
So sometimes I feel like fans, you know, they'll go really far with things, and oh, this guy's an asshole. He didn't say hi. He didn't sign an autograph. You know, sometimes, like I said, I got time for everybody, but in some cases, I definitely try to dodge people because it gets creepy, and you know, they kind of forget that you're a person in a way. And I never played on the National League level. People still like forget that you're kind of a person. So it's like, I don't know, you can get yourself in trouble if you're not careful.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I know that you have a lot of fans just by people who submit requests for you to be posted on Hunks of Hockey still. So,
oh man,
super funny. Super funny.
Hey, I appreciate that stuff from the get-go, yo. That got me a lot of, you know, fans and stuff, or people that just kind of started looking into this guy as a little bit more than just a hockey player. I mean, maybe from a superficial, oh, this guy's hot. I don't know. Maybe I'm just flattering myself. But yeah, no, I appreciate that. That's I feel like I almost have a little bit of a cult in a way. It sounds bad. I don't want to say like cult, but I have.
No, I think you do too, because it's people are so like adamant about like. They're like, oh, I love Dan. Dan's awesome. Dan's the best guy ever. And it's like, I think I just posted a photo of you for Fan Friday with someone. And they're like, please post this. Please post it.
Oh, man. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, I got a lot of people, and I genuinely do care, you know, about my people. I really do. And I keep in touch with them and stuff like that. So, you know, people always ask me how I'm doing and stuff, which is just, it's cool. It lets me know that I made a statement. You know, I didn't just play hockey and just stop playing. Like I affected people in ways. So.
Yeah, and that's all you can ask for, right?
All you can ask for.
Yeah.
Right. Make a positive change some way.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Bringing entertainment is one way to do that. You know, expressing your message with clothing. And there's a lot of ways to affect change that we can use today. We're seeing all that play out right now, you know?
I do a lot of unique shit. That's no question about that. It's kind of just express myself. So it took a lot to get there though. definitely took a lot to get there. I wasn't always like that. I used to be really shy. So.
What advice do you have for kids coming up now in the league or playing hockey, and if they want to get into the professional system?
Yeah. Obviously, first and foremost, got to work your ass off. Don't take things for granted. You gotta, a lot of this stuff might sound repetitive to what other people say, so I want to word it in a way that's a little bit different, but, work on your craft. You don't have to go, stay after practice for a half an hour bagging yourself. You got to be smart. You got to work hard, but you got to work smart, and, work on your shot, work on game situational stuff, not just stuff to just, you could do a pointless drill 1,000 times and you're not getting any better. Work on stuff that is going to be applicable to a game. You can work hard, but you got to work smart. You got to work on stuff that's actually going to help you come game time, whether it's getting a pass, making a quick shot in a unique type of way, just all that sort of stuff. Otherwise, from a mental standpoint, just stay level-headed. It can be hard, and I know this firsthand. When it comes to the business side of things, stuff like that. It is what it is. You work hard. You be a good teammate. You be good to your fans, and you'll come out of hockey with a lot of opportunities because guys are going to want to help you. Guys are going to want to be there for you and stuff like that. And it's not like that's the reason you do it. You do it to be a good person, but just stay even keel. Be a good person, and I don't know. That's my advice.
It's good. I think that advice applies to people who are out not in hockey as well.
Absolutely, yeah, I agree with that. So try to apply it to my life now.
Crazy. Sorry, we just had an earthquake at my house, so
what?
I'm a little freaked out right now. Did you not see? We just had an earthquake. My whole entire room was shaking. Sorry.
Oh my God.
Are you serious?
Rachel, where are you located right now?
I'm in LA too, but I didn't feel shit. Nothing happened.
Well, I'm closer to I'm still rolling. This is weird.
Is it still shaking?
I'm roll. It's like one of those rolling earthquakes. It was shaking and then it just started rolling afterwards.
Is this normal?
Yeah, it happens a lot.
Oh yeah, it happens all the time.
Yeah, I'm in LA too, but we live I live on the other side of the mountain from Breezy. I live down in close to Venice, Santa Monica, and
right.
We don't always feel them here. And are you okay, Breezy?
Yeah, I'm good. I was just checking.
Is it still rolling?
No, we're good now.
You don't need to get under a doorway, or you're safe? No. Okay.
No, I'm fine.
Oh my gosh.
This happens all the time.
Real life. It happened the other night too. Here, over by me, it was 12:30. I was literally about to turn the light off, and all of a sudden, it was I thought, sometimes I live in an old building and the neighbors slam their door and it sort of makes the whole thing shake and my windows rattle, and they're but the whole thing was shaking, and it's so disorienting because you think it's you.
And you feel you're still moving afterwards too.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's so very weird. Disorienting. Holy crap.
Yeah,
this is a podcast first.
we ain't getting that here. I mean, randomly, I don't know if you guys saw this, but north of us, about 80 miles, a freaking 3 dams broke. Whoa. You ever hear about a dam breaking? Because I've never heard of a dam.
No.
That's a childhood fantasy type thing. It's a dam. It doesn't break. And basically 3 communities were completely flooded and just wild.
Crazy.
Well, I know our dams system are, I think I read a recent statistic, and I'm going to butcher it because I don't remember the exact number, but they're failing. Almost every single dam in our country is on the brink of falling apart at any moment.
What?
Yeah. Not to cause more concern, but there's a lot of dams that are in need of repair and fixing, and they're very dangerous.
Wow. So now we got to worry about a lot of things right now. We got to worry about this coronavirus. We got to worry about riots spreading out to burning everything up. Got to worry about these killer hornets. UFOs are now a thing now, right? Those are actually put out in the public. Now we got to worry about the dams.
Mhm.
I mean, there's
Yeah.
probably like 3 things I could think of too that, jeez, oh,
Yeah.
Pete's, man. Yo, that's crazy.
Wait, what did you just say?
I said,
Cheezo Pete's?
Jeez, oh, Pete's.
Jeez, oh, Pete's.
Ooh,
I never heard that.
I like that.
Never heard jeez, oh, Pete's?
No.
Oh, man, I say it all the time.
What
I
does
think I'm
that
gonna start
mean?
saying that.
I don't
Jeez,
know.
oh, Pete's?
Yeah, like, it's kind of like the same thing, like, oh, Jesus Christ, cheese and
Yeah.
rice. You know what I'm saying? It's jeez, oh, Pete's.
Cheezo Pete's. I like it.
You and Breezy
I like
speak
it.
the same language. I don't understand half of that. I mean, Breezy and I have butchered on this podcast many times
Yeah.
a lot of sayings.
Yeah.
Oh,
And she comes
so
up with
funny.
some crafty ways to not swear. So you're
True.
right up there with her now.
Yeah,
Cheezo
God.
Pete's. Carrying that
Jeez.
over.
Cheese oh, Pete's, and God, I have another one too that I always say.
I say
I don't.
Christ on a bike. Jesus H. Christ.
Wow.
I learned
Yeah, I didn't know he had a middle name. I didn't even know that.
I didn't know he doesn't. That's why I say that, because that's ridiculous.
That's so funny.
Middle name is Heaven. You know, middle name is
Heaven.
Jesus H. Okay.
I think it
Makes
stands
sense.
for habeas. It's not really his middle name. He doesn't have a
Right.
middle name, but it's like
Right.
whatever. Jesus H. Christ. It just sounds like a little more
Right.
dramatic, if you will.
Yeah. Damn.
Speaking of hunky men like Jesus,
Oh,
who's
yeah.
your? I'm gonna make that transition. Who's your favorite hockey
I
hunk?
got Jesus flow right now.
You do. We ask
uh,
everybody their favorite hockey hunk. So, who's yours? You can't say yourself.
No. Hockey hunk. I mean, there's a lot of good-looking dudes. It's gonna sound funny, but like, I mean, you recognize a good-looking guy when he's good-looking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, let me think. I don't want to think too hard because then it just. You know what? Steve Yzerman, man. That guy's ageless.
Ooh,
He
Guy's
there you go.
ageless. Guy's
There you
ageless.
go.
He's even gotten better looking with age.
Yeah, and his hair grew back somehow. I don't really know how the hell that happened. He was losing it for a bit, yo. Look at some of his old pictures when he was retiring. That shit grew back. I don't know what happened.
We don't want to get anybody in trouble. We're not going to ask questions of how that
Well,
happens.
I might ask him that question in a few years. You know what I'm saying? If I have to worry
Dude.
about it.
Yeah.
Right.
What's your secret?
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Because right now it's just collagen. That's all I got. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Collagen in my coffee, biotin supplements. Oh yeah.
Right.
Who's your favorite hockey lady?
She gotta be a hockey player?
No. Whatever you deem to be a hockey lady.
Oh. Yeah, hockey lady. Man. I don't really know a whole lot of. There's a lot of good-looking female hockey players. I can't really think of any right now. Like I can't think of a name, so I can't like give you a name. That's my problem. There's a lot of back in the day. There was a lot of hot girls on the Boston University team.
Ah, all
It
right.
was like 3 or 4 of them. I think I added all of them on Instagram too, but I don't know if I got. I might have got like 3 follows back. I don't know. No,
That's
3 is not a bad number actually. I think it was less than that.
All right, we'll go with final answer. Boston University women's hockey team. All the team.
The whole team. That's a good one.
Do you follow the NHL? Do you have a team that you follow? Are you a Wings fan then? Because you're from Michigan, or
I want to see the Wings. I want to see the Wings do well, but honestly, I'm more of a fan of certain players.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see the Wings do well because I'm from Detroit, but once you play at that level, you don't really have, or at least are close to making, getting into the pros. It kind of fades away a little bit for me. Like I just was more appreciative of players or, well, a player that comes to mind that I really like, and he's actually a hometown guy here, is Werenski on Columbus Blue Jackets. Guy's one of the nicest guys I ever, met. So he's a great dude. Yeah, there's a lot of good people and good players in the NHL. Obviously, it's the best league in the world. So I can't really.
Yeah.
I just appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, hey, that's all you got to do.
Yeah, appreciate the game.
Cool. Yeah. So I think that pretty much wraps up our interview. So where can fans follow you? Do you want, shout yourself out, promote yourself, give everybody what you want to hear?
Stylin Milan, baby. If you want to find me on any of these platforms out here, Stylin Milan, Twitter, Instagram. I got a TikTok too, but I haven't made any videos yet. Those things are complicated as hell, man. I can't I want to make a good one. And I already I'll spend 10 minutes making an Instagram post, just like thinking of a clever caption. So yeah, you can follow me there. I appreciate anything and any love that anybody brings.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It's been a blast. And everyone, go follow him. True inspiration right here. So thanks for everything that you do.
Breezy, our dog. I appreciate y'all.
I was like, who is that? Oh, that's me.
Yeah,
yep,
our dog.
We're trying to make that happen. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. I love it. Thanks so much.
No problem.
Thanks for coming over to our House of Hockey podcast and hanging out with us. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. And in the meantime, you can follow us on social media. Just look for House of Hockey podcast. We'll be back next week.